All right, Joe, we got Mr. Joe Whyte from Resident Evil, the voice of Chris Redfield in the house. Give me that countdown.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That time is approaching once again, NerdCage Nation.
That's right. Mark your calendars for Saturday, December 13th, starting at noon Eastern, for Cheesy Movies for Charity for Alien Babes Galore.
Let's go. This year, our goal is to raise $2,500 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital using the Tiltify app.
Not only that, during the event, we will give away a Nintendo Switch 2 to one lucky and generous donor. Details on that coming soon.
So join us right here on NerdCage Live for an all-day watch party event live right here on this channel, watching 5 films of cheesy goodness that feature an alien babe to make this a fun time.
We'll reveal one movie each week.
Exploding transition!
As you know already, we're starting with Species at noon, Splice at 2 p.m. Jay, what's on deck?
At 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be watching Supergirl with Helen Slater, which is streaming for free on Netflix.
I mean, how can we not watch that movie? Once again, we look forward to ending this season of NerdCage Live with a bang for a great cause, money for one of our favorite charities, and we have no doubts that we could do it with your help, NerdCage Nation.
And be sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live, and we look forward to working with St. Jude's once again for Cheesy Movies for Charity for Alien Babes Galore.
Thanks so much, NerdCage Nation. We will see you Saturday, December 13th.
Hi, my name is Kev Bayliss, designer or redesigner of Donkey Kong, designer of Diddy Kong, Jago, Enderkurken, and Whizpig. You can't beat me! But what you want to do is subscribe to NerdCage, the YouTube channel. Just go there, subscribe, because you know it makes sense. And that's that.
It has begun!
If what you say is true, the Shaolin
And the NerdCage
could be dangerous.
Greetings, citizens! You're now trapped in a NerdCage. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello and welcome. That is right. You are trapped in NerdCage Live. This channel is a celebration of all things pop culture. So if you are new to the channel, or if you're coming from the Crimson Head podcast, or wherever you may be listening, or Residents of Evil, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'm your co-host, Jay St. G, certified geek 7 days a week, coming to you live from yours truly, the land of the orange of Syracuse, New York. And always with me is my moderator and troll hammer, Joe of FallenOne Gaming. You've been dying to do a Resident Evil show. We finally got one. Please introduce our fantabulous guest tonight.
Yes, we have the one, the only Joe Whyte, voice of Chris Redfield from the Resident Evil Remake, with us tonight. How are you doing, sir?
Fabulous. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We'll take it. And before we go any further, Joe, who we got in the chat tonight?
Tons of lurkers, I'm sure. Don't be afraid to speak up. I'm sure our regulars get along the way, so doing good.
If you have any questions for Mr. Joe Whyte, we'll try our best to fetch them as the show goes on. So please in the chat, and we'll try our very, very best. And before we go any further, Joe, speaking of Resident Evil, next week we're gonna wrap things up on Twitch.
Yes, the finale stream of Resident Evil Remake, the Chris scenario, will be on Tuesday.
Yes, twitch.tv/NerdCage Live, and over on Saturday, Joe, another finale.
Yes, the finale of Dead Space Remake.
And of course, mark your calendars for Saturday, December 13 for Cheesy Movies for Charity for Alien Babes Galore. Our goal is to raise $2,500 through St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you donate, you may have a chance to win a Nintendo Switch 2, so be sure to join us. And so far, the movies we have revealed: Species, Splice, and Supergirl. Cheesy movies galore. So, yes, and of course, please get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. If you're a fan of Resident Evil, we have this awesome umbrella logo shirt that Joe made. And Joe, show them your hat real quick.
Yes, this is the Capcom logo.
Yes. So if you go to the link of this video, the description there, the TeePub's there as well, on every video and across the vast lands of social media, Joe.
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
All right, so let's get right to it. So, Mr. Joe Whyte, we're gonna stand with we're gonna do some basic bitch questions here to start. So my question to you is, how did you get into acting and voice acting and whatnot? How did your journey begin to get into the business?
There was this girl that I liked in junior high school, and her name was Claire Hockett, and we ended up becoming lifelong friends. But she was in the play production class at Northridge Junior High when we were kids, and I had such a crush on her. I didn't know anything about acting. I wasn't an actor. I had no desire to be it, but she was in play production, and so I joined the class so I could be near her.
Nice.
We never got together, but I ended up falling in love with acting, and I found my people, found my tribe, and knew from that point on, from I think it was 8th grade, that I wanted to do that for a living. And so Claire was my inspiration for getting into the class. Ended up falling in love with performing, and just continued on from there. Did it all through high school, and went to Cal State Northridge and was in the theater department there. And then just when I left, I only went to college for 2 years. Really wasn't my bag, so I dropped out and started trying to make it as an actor. Got an agent and started doing auditions for stuff, and then I got into improv, and improv was something that I did pretty seriously for many years, all the late 80s and 90s, early 2000s. I was in a group called Comedy Sports Los Angeles, and which is, that show is still live, still happens. Comedy Sports happens all over the country. There are groups all over the country. In fact, if you watch Ted Lasso on TV, Jason Sudeikis.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He was in Comedy Sports, I think in I want to say Kansas City, I think he was in. So yeah, just did that. I was in a group called the Impromptones, which was all musical improv. We would take suggestions. We 3 guys and a pianist, and we would take suggestions from the audience and make up hopefully funny songs. And then after that, we did a thing called the New Tonics that had Jeff Davis. You might know from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
And he was also in the Impromptones and Comedy Sports. And then after that fell apart, I went into a dark hole for 15 years and didn't do anything. When I decided I wanted to get back on stage again, and but I didn't want to do the improv group thing because it's so hard to find people that you really trust and love. And,
Yeah.
I mean, it's at that age. I mean, I was already in my 40s, and at that age, it's hard to go like join Second City or Groundlings or IO or whatever group. It's hard to like get in there, meet all the people, develop those years worth of trust, and build yourself back up into an integral part of a group. It's just a hard process. So I decided that I just wanted to do stand up. I would just do comedy, but I would try to write my own material and try to do something on my own, so I didn't have to worry about other people or a group. And so I'm still doing that. I'm not good. I'm the first person to, I'm learning. It takes a long time to develop a routine, and
Yeah.
so if you go on YouTube and you look up Joe Whyte comedy, you'll see some of my stand-up stuff from the Ice House. And I was in Canada for a while, and I did some shows at a place called the Comedy Nest, which is a wonderful club up there in Montreal.
Nice.
And it's you'll get on it and you'll go, wow, yeah, Joe should probably pursue something else other than stand-up. But I'm trying to make it work. And then now with I'm doing the conventions, the retro gaming conventions. My game is 25 years old now, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
Or actually, what is it? What year is it again? It's 25.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next year, it's going to be 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I qualify. I'm definitely in the vintage retro gaming convention areas.
Honestly, I think that's where you want to be, though. that's the golden age of gaming. So
it was a special time back then. Really
yeah.
Our game, I'm very proud to be a part of Resident Evil Remake, the first one, because I think, and you guys can tell me what you feel about this. I think that game in particular really changed gaming at the time because of the pre-rendered backgrounds and the way the game looked. It was a cut above everything else that was happening at the time. And I think it really set the stage for modern games. I think that was kind of the early late 90s, early 2000s. There was a paradigm shift, and everything then became what we now know as the modern gaming look and feel.
Yeah, it was definitely the bridge between your old school 90s survival horror to what we have as our remakes nowadays. So definitely without that, we wouldn't have what we have now.
And Mr. Whyte, I got to ask you, so before you got the call to play Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 2002, were you a fan of the Resident Evil games? Or were you aware how much of a fan or how much aware were you of Resident Evil before you got the call?
0.
Oh.
I had no idea. In fact, I've told this story on many podcasts. So if you've seen any of the other ones, you may have heard this before. But forgive me, but I'll rehash it.
Yeah.
I got the part by pure kismet. My wife, Kate, was working at a company called Sound Deluxe in Hollywood, which was where they did all the sound design and voiceover recording for Remake, for the game. And I went to have lunch with her one day, just on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
And the casting person, Carol Rougier, was still a good friend of mine and a voiceover actress in her own right. You can see her as Athena in God of War. She was also a casting person, and she was there, and she said, hey, she knew that I had just started doing voiceover at Disney. I'll tell you about the other half of my life, which was being a 3D modeler at Disney for many years. And she said, we're casting this this video game. It's called Resident Evil. Would you like to jump? We're looking for someone who sounds like the original voice of Chris Redfield, a guy named Ramsey Scott McCullough, who unfortunately passed away in 2000, I believe.
Oh.
From cancer. And we're looking for someone whose voice has the same vibe that his does. Would you like to jump in the booth and see if you can voice match it? And I said, sure, yeah, I'd love to. I had just started doing voiceover. And that's a whole, I'll tell you that story later.
Yeah.
So I jumped in the booth and they played some of Scott McCullough's lines from the original game to me. And they said, can you match that? So I just tried to match it. And they said, yeah, you sound great. You sound just like him. So we're going to offer you this part. And I was like, okay, cool, super. See, at the time, Resident Evil, there wasn't a lot of stuff out. I mean, there was the original game. And what I'm talking about, this is 90, I think it was 98, late 98. And we recorded through 99, I think into 2000. I did a couple of sets. I did like the total of 5 sessions.
Yeah.
So, you know, Resident Evil was not yet this juggernaut of a franchise.
Yeah.
I wasn't a gamer at the time. So I really knew nothing about it. And if you the voice of Chris Redfield is really just me being more sincere, being a little more edgy. It's kind of like me talking like this, you know. There's really very little character put on top of the Chris Redfield. It was not a stretch. It was just me being, you know, trying to be tough and trying to be, you know, come on, make for that mansion.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hey, it still works. This is Chris before he learned how to punch boulders. So.
Young, unassuming, nice guy. Back when Chris was still, you know, kind of wet behind the ears and wasn't this jaded, hardcore, seen it all guy that Chris is now.
Yeah.
And I love who Chris has become. I think he's really evolved in the right way. You know, I love Chris from Village. I think he does him right. So anyway, that's how I got the part. You know, and I think we did a total of 5 sessions, 4 sessions for dialogue and 1 session for hit sounds and effort sounds and things like that. Running, you know, getting punched, getting thrown around the room by Plant 42, which
yeah.
That was already animated, so I had to watch the video of Chris being thrown around the room by the plant and time my you know, I had to like time it to the video, which was a lot of fun. It's very cathartic.
I bet.
I really recommend doing that if you have.
It's funny how just the grunts and regular noises like that can be more fun than the actual voice lines themselves.
Absolutely. And that's not the strangest thing I've done on microphone.
I gotta ask, Mr. Whyte, I know you said you recorded back in like 98 and 99. I want to know what your reaction was when the game got announced or when it first came out back in 2002. At the time, those were at the best graphics in any video game at the time. It was groundbreaking graphics. Do you have any idea, like when the game was in development, it was going to turn out like that?
No idea at all. I had no idea. I was very pleasantly surprised. When the game came out, I went to, there was one of my local, I think it was GameStop, maybe. I think it was GameStop in the Glendale Galleria.
Nice.
Because Capcom did not give me a copy of the game.
Oh,
really?
Sad.
Also, I got to ask before I forget too. I know you said you recorded in Hollywood, right? So I got to ask. So was the because I know Capcom's in Japan. Was there like a Did Capcom like have a separate like sound division out there, or how did that? How that?
Oh.
I know that the game was made in Japan, but you voiced in Hollywood. How did that? How does that work?
They used a company called Sound Deluxe in Hollywood to do the sound design for the game.
Okay. Okay.
So that was all that stuff was done in Hollywood, and I don't know in terms of Capcom's structure. I know they have a full studio in Japan.
Yeah.
I know they have a U.S. division here too. But...
I know they were looking to. The first Resident Evil has a reputation for having very corny sounding voiceover.
But we love it. But we love it.
Oh, it's iconic. I mean, it really is. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Yes.
It's the best. But they were looking to. They wanted to get some sort of union actors who could do a little bit of a higher quality job with voiceover for the game, which but they ended up with me anyway. And it's funny I say that, I kind of cut myself down for it, but there's stuff that I would go back and change. I listen to it now and I play the game still, and I there are a few lines there where I go, I could have done that line better. But you don't know. And back then, we didn't do that with anybody else. I'd never met the other actors.
That's what I was about to ask you. So you recorded by yourself. You weren't you didn't work with the other actors and stuff in the same room or nothing.
So you don't have any idea what the other actor's performance is. You're acting in a vacuum, which still happens a lot.
Yeah.
But nowadays, especially with motion capture, almost every game now is done with mocap. You're actually in the room with the other actors, and you're physically acting. You're physically doing the parts and the lines and stuff. All I did was stand in a little voiceover booth with a microphone and my pages, trying to imagine what everybody else was doing and how the other performances were. So that fact can create a disconnect in the character. Sometimes the conversations will sound artificial because you're not acting with the other person. We're completely separate, acting in vacuums, trying to make a conversation work. So that can lead to stuff sounding a little stilted or a little weird. And that's why I think that the quality, the voiceover quality of games today, I feel is better because they're starting to do group recording.
Yeah.
Group, doing all the lines together, and certainly a lot of TV shows are done, in group settings. If you go to YouTube, you can look up, Simpsons or Family Guy voiceover sessions, and you've got
they do all their table reads and everything now, so
which is pretty cool.
Now, have you been able to meet any of these other voice actors since?
Oh yeah, we have the whole group together.
Okay, very good.
2014, I was working at Disney Publishing as a modeler, working on some educational video game stuff. We were walking to lunch one day, and I get this phone call out of the blue from England, and it's this guy, Paul Freshwater, and who runs a podcast called the Crimson Head Elder Podcast, and we're still doing that. I'm now a part of that podcast. I'm one of the hosts of the podcast, and so look them up. We're doing some good stuff. We've got 3 really good interviews that are about to drop.
Actually, put the link in the description, the YouTube and the podcast in the description.
Actually, next Tuesday, we are interviewing Michael Gwynn and Cecily Lerner, who were the original actors from Silent Hill.
Nice.
And that next Tuesday night. Anyway, I get this phone call out of the blue, and it's this guy, Paul, and he's like, hi, Paul. Hi, Joe. My name's Paul Freshwater. I'm from England. And I'm wondering if you would like to come on a podcast and be interviewed. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. We don't know any of the other actors, do you? And I said, no, but I can look them up. I can try to find them. And I think the first person that I found was Peter Jessup, who played Wesker. And I started calling around and trying to contact these people and ask them if they would like to come on the podcast and be interviewed. And slowly we found people. Heidi Anderson Swan, who played Jill Valentine, and Hope Levy, who played Rebecca, and Ed Sparron, who played Barry. And we found them and got everybody on the podcast, and then we all kind of became friends. And then a couple of years ago, I got another phone call out of the blue from a convention manager who said, I'd like to try to get you into some of these autograph conventions. And I said, sure. And so I contacted the other actors, and they were interested, and so we all kind of got together, and now we're all friends and buddies, and Peter Jessup and I played them.
That's so awesome.
Nice.
Other people from the neighborhood, and Heidi is now a very good friend of mine. She's like my sister, and Hope is one of the most kind, loving, wonderful people you ever want to meet. So we're going out and doing the convention circuits. And sometimes it's me and Jill. Sometimes it's Jill and Jester. But we're all kind of going out to different conventions. So I have a convention coming up in Athens, Georgia, the first weekend of December. Oh, hold on. I just saw a notice from someone online. Oh, someone said they met me at the National Gaming Expo.
Yes, that's one of our friends. Yes.
Hi, Ori.
Yeah, that's actually the girlfriend of the of Tabmock who set us up for this meeting. Yes.
We need to talk about the Tampa convention. That was a scam. That turned out to be a horrible experience.
Yeah, I gotta ask, what happened? Because not only that, I don't know the details, but I spoke to Tabmonk about it, who said, yeah, this was a very bad. Not only that, but Brian Glenn, who plays Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, as well as Anthony Marquez, who played Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat, we're friends. They were just like, yeah, that was a weird experience, man. It did not go good. I didn't ask any questions, so I guess my question to you is, what on earth happened in Tampa?
Well, my understanding, and I may not have all of the information, but here's what I understand happened. There were some money people who wanted to do a convention, and they hired this guy named Mike, I forget his last name, to set it up and run it, and to coordinate it and do all this stuff. And apparently he had just gotten out of prison for drugs and something else from
of course, in Tampa Bay.
the only conventions that this guy had run previous to this were for porn or vapes.
Ooh. Quite the resume.
He had never run a video game convention. But he took these people's money and he paid himself like 10 grand a week, and he just squandered everything. He apparently had tried to, he was charging, he was in prison in Dominican Republic. That's right. And he basically scammed these people out of a lot of money. And
wow.
So we walk in, we show up to the event and we get there early, and we walk in, and we're in this massive arena, and there's like maybe 15 booths, and one of those booths is a guy selling video game stuff. Everything else is like weird. There was a NASA thing.
Oh wow.
There was a booth selling fudge, which was amazing, by the way. There was another booth selling Zip Fizz, which I've become addicted to. Zip Fizz is like this powder that's got B12 and all kinds of vitamins in it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's delicious. You got to get this stuff. It's amazing. I don't get paid for saying that, by the way. I should call them. So So my booth at this convention is I'm sandwiched between a graphic artist who was wonderful. She was a really cool person and just a really great graphic artist, and someone selling life insurance. And then there's me.
I can't.
You can't make this stuff up.
Cannot make it up. And then they had the entire cast from Red Dead Redemption. They were there the first day, and then the second day they just said, like, fuck this, this is a joke and we're not even coming back. So they didn't even show up on Sunday. They had the Mortal Kombat guys were there, and then they had two guys from Breaking Bad. They had Raymond Cruz and Carlos.
Oh, that's awesome. It's my all-time favorite show.
I mean, and they were wonderful guys. They were so cool. They were just like really laid back and funny, and we got to go out to dinner with them. We went to this amazing restaurant in Tampa called Rocco, which is a Michelin-starred restaurant. And
nice.
One of the finest Italian meals that I've ever had in my entire life. Big shout out to the folks at Rocco in Tampa. But that was it. And they also had a bunch of people from GTA 5, I think, or previous GTA games.
It just blows my mind how they fumbled the bag, because this sounds like an amazing guest lineup of guests at this convention, and this guy's goddamn screwy.
Yeah, no, he really dropped the ball on it. And also they didn't have, like, I never got paid back for my airfare. When they bring celebrities in to do these things, there's your airfare and your hotel room. They did end up paying for the hotel, but I never got paid for my airfare. There were people who didn't get paid their guarantees. A lot of the voice actors just walked. They just said, this is not a convention. A lot of I felt so bad for the guests, because, they paid for parking and then they bought a ticket and they walk in. They're like, where's the convention? There's 10 booths here. There's one guy selling video games. This is complete garbage. And the other thing this guy did, which really pissed me off, is he, on the website, they had promised certain people were going to be there, and they pre-sold autographs for certain people who had pulled out. There were certain actors who didn't make it for whatever reason. Maybe they found out about this guy beforehand and they said, I'm not going to go do that. If I had known this guy's background, I never would have done it.
Yeah.
But people showed up to the event who had pre-purchased autographs from these actors who didn't show, and they never updated the website. They never told people, oh, this person's canceled. We're refunding your money for the pre-sold autograph. They didn't.
And I heard they shut down their social media too during the convention. That's what Tabmonk told me.
Exactly. So, all in all, I'm amazed that this guy didn't get dragged out of the event and, tossed into a alligator-laden swamp somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's just a massive con. Now, that being said, I actually did all right, and I wasn't even on the website. Nobody knew I was there. People were walking by going, "Oh my God, you're here." There's nothing on the website that says you. So without any marketing at all, I actually did well. I actually made money.
That's great.
Good to hear.
So I gotta ask, because I wasn't, so just real quick. So Tabmonk99 texted me and says, hey, I'm at this Tampa convention and Joe Whyte from Resident Evil is here, the guy who played Chris. And I'm like, do me a favor. He says, hey, do you want me to get you an autograph and this and that? I'm like, no. I'm like, do me a favor. Text Joe right now. And I was like, Joe will be flipping. So
we spoke on the phone. I got my autograph in the mail. Everything is great. So yes,
I'm so happy that happened. Like I said, Tabmonk reached out to me first, and I was like, Tab, you gotta understand. Joe's Resident Evil means everything to Joe.
It's in my blood. Yeah,
I get hold of it.
I have T-virus in my blood currently.
I'm a Resident Evil. Don't worry, I'm a diehard Resident Evil fan too. But Joe,
Joe has a problem.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of an addiction, I think.
I went to this way. I got the T virus. Joe's got the G virus. That's
Yeah,
that's
the
how.
OG virus.
So yeah. So once again, thank you so much for you made Joe's day, and thank you for coming on our show. Absolutely, thank you for coming on our show today. I'm glad this all happened.
And the biggest thing that I'm excited for that I'm going to segue into is the project that you have coming up with the Residents of Evil guys with Resurrection.
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
Excited about this. I'm so excited about this project. I went out to Utah a couple months ago and shot a couple of nights on this film called Resurrection. Being directed by Salo, who directed Peter's Diary, and Andrew and I have been friends for a while. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew from working with him, because I did some voiceover for him on Keeper's Diary. We wanted to do like a little Easter egg thing, a little switch up thing for the Keeper's Diary. So the original Chris Redfield, Charlie Kozlowski, is the actor in Keeper's Diary, but I ADR'd his voice. So his voice in that film is my voice.
Oh, nice.
Chris Redfield's mashup to do this thing. So we did that, and that was a lot of fun. And then Andrew said that he was going to do another film, and I said, if you have a part for me, I would love to be in it. And he said, God, yeah, that'd be fantastic. So they wrote this part for me called Major Gorsow. I'm like this corrupt paramilitary guy, and for Umbrella. And Rebecca, this is like predates the whole Raccoon City event. Rebecca is one of my underlings, and Major Gorsow is, like I said, he's corrupt, and Rebecca is onto him, and she's been kind of stringing him along and lying to him about this thing. I can't really tell you too much about it. So I'm mad at her, and I actually, in the scene that we do together, I threatened to kill her. And something happens to me. I can't tell you again too much. But what can I tell you? What more can I tell? I've probably already said too much. Andrew's probably.
Yeah, I know it's kind of tight-lipped with it not being released yet. So less is more. I know.
Well, we definitely look forward to it, and of course, y'all can see on screen there. We put a picture up there that Joe was kind enough to share with us. So.
Yeah, we're definitely excited for it, and I guess if I had to ask any questions, I mean, I know you've had dealings with Charlie and everything. Have you been able to meet some of the other big names in the movie, including the I can't remember his name. He's the one that does the original voice title card thing where he says Resident Evil. I know he did the thing too, so I know he's a part of it.
Greg Smith, he played Barry in the original.
Yeah.
Thing. I've met all those guys, and they're the best. They're all so
nice.
Eric Pirius, who was Wesker, and what was I going to say? My brain just went off the tracks like a train.
Mine doesn't.
It happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have met all those guys, and oh gosh, I'm so bad with names. I forget names all the time. But the woman who played Jill Valentine in the original, what is her name? Oh,
voice or the actual actress?
The live action actor for
Inez?
No.
See, she was the hardest to find from what I hear from the ROE guys.
And she's not interested in partaking in the conventions stuff. She's a very
Oh, that's too bad. It's not for everybody. It is what it is.
were all wonderful folks, and we had such a good time. I was only there for three days, but just had the best time. And I think it's really going to be good. We're having a premiere in Las Vegas, I believe, in March is when they're shooting for.
Nice.
From what I understand, it's going to be 4 15-minute YouTube episodes.
Oh, great! That's great. I like web series, like so.
Yeah, and I know the last update that I saw on ROE's website and everything was that they were very, very close to hitting their ultimate goal. They got all the way to where they could film the whole web series and everything, but they said if they hit their ultimate goal, they were going to do a post-credit scene, and I'm not sure if they ended up hitting that or not.
I don't know about that, but I hope they did.
Yeah.
Mr. Whyte, I do have a question for you, and this is one question I'm aching to ask you before I forget. Because we gotta wrap up soon, pretty soon, because I gotta get to work. But what is your favorite voice line you recorded for Chris, and what is your favorite? What do you love most about the character of Chris Redfield?
Well, I can get sentimental about him. The thing that I like the most about how I portrayed him is that I think he's an average guy, and I like to stand up for the average guy. I like the people who are not heroes. That I like the guys who, how do I say this? Get thrown into just your average guy. He's not any worse or better than anybody else. He's not any smarter or more physical than anybody else. But he gets thrown into this crazy, absurd situation and figures it out, and somehow survives. As horrible and as terrible as it is, he's just an average person who squeaks through somehow. And does it the right way, doesn't hurt other people. I mean, he does kill a lot of people, but he doesn't.
Yeah, they're already dead so I guess it's all right.
just a good human being who kind of stands up for the underdog, kind of is there to protect people and really has his heart in the right place. I don't like boulder punching Chris. I think that's way over the top. Although he punches the boulder for the right reasons. I mean, he's capping off but I've always felt, and I've said this in many other interviews, if you want a horror film to work, you need average people who are not special. You can't have superheroes in a situation where they're going to win. Because that takes away the horror of it,
the survival horror. Yeah.
And what is survival if you're going to win? If you're going to beat the monster, if you're going to cross the chasm and slay the dragon and get the gold and the girl and all, if that, where's the story?
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that, because I think Capcom has pretty much agreed with you on that, and that's why they're pushing RE9 Requiem the way they are, to have a protagonist that doesn't have any of those skills and go back to the horror that I was originally known for.
Exactly right. Horror is a vulnerable person in danger.
Yeah.
And I'll even go a step further. Zach Kreger's movie that's coming up is doing the exact same thing. They're going back to the Outbreak feel, where you have a bunch of unknowns, but it's set in the same atmosphere with the same monsters and everything. So the monsters are really the stars of the show. These guys are just living it.
Actually, well, before I get to my Zach Kreger question, because I do have a question about that. Did you have like a favorite line that Chris said that you recorded, or did you have like what was your favorite line that you said in your session?
There were a couple of good ones in there. Anytime he mocks Wesker, I enjoy that. Just to freak. That was a good one. You've gone senile. I think I can't remember them off the top of my head. There were a couple of good lines on the platform at the very end. When they're shooting the final boss.
Tyrant, yeah.
There's a couple of good lines there. I think that here's the quintessential Chris Redfield line.
Yeah.
Chris Redfield, Alpha Team, we're here to rescue you.
Mm-hmm.
That's him.
Yeah. Love it.
We're here to rescue you. That's my Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely love it. So yeah, Joe just brought up the Zach Cregger film. I'm personally excited for it because I don't know if you saw Barbarian or if you saw Weapons. Those were good movies, so I have hope for this upcoming Zach Cregger Resident Evil movie. How are you feeling about the film? Is there anything that and did they ask you about possibly cameoing as like a zombie or something, or I don't know. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, but how you feel about the upcoming film?
Your mouth to God's ears. I would love to be asked to be in one of those. That would be wonderful. No, they did not ask me. I hope it's a good film. I know that it won't be what we're all expecting a Resident. Here's the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why is it impossible to make a Resident Evil film that follows our game? Why can't they take the remake from 2002 and make that into a movie? I don't understand why that can't be done. Everybody who has Constantine films, they make these Resident Evil movies that have nothing to do with the games.
Yeah.
And it's so it's like you're a fan of the movies or you're a fan of the games, but very rarely do I see someone who's a fan of the entire thing.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of those people. I actually love the movies, and I love I love both. I mean, anything that we get Resident Evil, I always get excited. But I understand your frustration, and that's a lot of people's sentiment too. Is well, why can't we get
Every director has gotten one aesthetic correct, but can't get the whole picture. And I mean, I still, out of everything we've gotten thus far when it comes to live action film and everything, I think Paul Anderson did it the best, given what he was given. But that being said, I only like up to Resident Evil Apocalypse. Then it goes off the rails from there. And the other thing is trying to cast characters that are so beloved like these and trying to put them in the right places is tough in live action. And you can build the world, but putting the characters in is tough. And I think that's where Zach Cregger has kind of had a light bulb go off and go, you know what? We don't need the characters. The characters are in the games. Why would we need them for this? You know what I mean? So
I agree with you. The thing is that those characters are so beloved. They need to do one film where they just do the game. Just one movie where you embrace Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Rebecca Chambers, and Barry Burton, and Albert Wesker, and you do that story. Just do it. Do it. And make the sets look like what's behind us here.
Yeah, like I said, the set design of Welcome to Raccoon City was great. I didn't like the execution on characters and stuff because they made Leon, who is one of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise, into a wuss. And it's like, you're going to take your prime character and cut him down like that. That's the problem that I have with it. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to put the characters in, do them justice, for sure. Exactly. And another question that I had was, with all these remakes going on and everything, there are rumblings from the fan base that they want Resident Evil 1 remade again. I'm not sure why, but if they did embrace that project, would you be interested?
Absolutely, I would be. I would love to revoice
there
it.
There you go.
The problem is I'm 64, and Chris in that game is supposed to be 27. So could I don't know. But they might want to go with a younger actor. But I would love to see it redone in like an Unreal Engine 5 or RE Engine, which is a visual equivalent to Unreal.
Yeah,
I would love to see it done with that level of quality. Does it need to be redone? No, it does not.
Exactly.
And would they, if they did it in Unreal, would they again reuse our voices like they did in 2015 when they did the remaster? They just the old audio, or would they revoice it? And
I think if they're gonna do an actual remake from the ground up, I think they need to they need to take everything and build it back.
I concur. I think that would be the only thing that makes sense. But I would like to see, again, I wouldn't want to fund it because I know that they're massively expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that that's why the money is so expensive to make, and that's why we get the films that we get, and that's why we get the games that we get, because you can't do everything, and I understand.
Although the good thing with Capcom is they've got so many good properties now, and they have Japan and U.S. divisions and everything now, so they have multiple teams. They don't have to do they have their original Resident Evil team that does all the original games, and then you have your side team that does all the remakes, and they've been kicking ass lately. So I mean, they got Zero and Code Veronica on the way, which we're excited for. So
yeah. And before we go, because we got to wrap up soon here, but Mr. White, how you feeling about Resident Evil 9 Requiem coming up in February?
Big hopes for it. I like I said, after my game came out, I became a gamer, and I played everything. So I am rabid for it to come out. I have finished Village on every level. I have the infinite handgun, and quite often just go through, which is cheating, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey, when the original games came out, I was a Game Shark guy. I was doing infinite ammo and everything. So, that back in the good old days of the 90s. I do have one question here from a friend of mine I do have to field. You answered most of it, but the last part of it here, she asked basically, with your Disney projects versus the Resident Evil projects, if you had a favorite between the two, which would you pick?
Well, I think the favorite project that I've ever worked on, in terms of voiceover, was Emperor's New Groove.
Nice.
With 8 voices in that film. And I'm the guard that says, "I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's Groove." That's me. Also the guard that says, "I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home?"
Nice.
I had the best time working on that film. In terms of as a modeler, Tangled was my favorite film to work on.
Oh, that's great.
Lots of if you watch that film, you're seeing a lot of my work, and obviously of the other modelers in the team. And we had such a good team there, such wonderful guys and girls. It was a magical time, and I will never forget it.
That's wonderful. I guess, Joe, here, I guess how's how we can wrap things up here. When we have a guest on NerdCage Live, we typically want to get to know them a little bit better. So we just want to throw a couple rapid questions at you, and you can answer them the best you can here. So, and it's easy, but just do the best you can. But Mr. White, do you have a list of like your top 5 favorite movies, your top 5 favorite video games, and your top 5 favorite musicians and bands? I don't know if you want, so we can get to know you a little bit, get to know that side of you.
Let's see, top 5 favorite movies. Blade Runner, number 1.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh gosh.
They can be franchises if you wanna. They don't have to be numbered series.
Yeah, let's see. You're probably going to want to edit this for time. I just can't think. You put me in a place where I can't think all of it.
There's so many out there.
Music. Crowded House is my favorite band. The Beatles are my paradigm. They're the thing that I grew up with. They're the best ever of anything. But what I listen to now is stuff like Crowded House, Neil Finn. I'm also into like Traveling Wilburys, my musical tastes actually are very wide.
Mhm.
I like oh God. See, this is the type of brain that I have. It's when you say, "Give me a list of these things."
Yeah.
It doesn't. I have to
Yeah.
sit down and write them out.
That's all right. You gave us some good ones.
Chinatown is another one of my favorite movies. Bridge on the River Kwai. Wow. Anything that Roger Deakins was the camera person on. I really have an affinity for the movies of the 60s and 70s, especially the big films of those times. Gosh, I'm trying to think. There's one that I'm just blanking on, but I can see, but I can't think of the name of it. Musically, what was the other thing you asked about? Oh, video games.
Yeah.
Video game.
But we know Resident Evil. Are there any other ones besides Resident Evil?
All the Resident Evils. I really liked Red Dead Redemption. Last of Us. The Last of Us.
Nice.
I've played the shit out of those games, and I still play them all the time. In fact, I'm working my way through the original right now again because I just got a PS5. Just now got a PS5.
Nice.
Angry for so many years at the resellers that bought them out and you couldn't get them, and I was just like, there's no way I'm paying over retail for a goddamn PS5, you know. My PS4 is fine. I'll use that until it burns up. But and there's a bunch of old games that I like. Actually, some of my favorite video games aren't video games at all. They're text-based games. I love the Zork. If you go back and look at any of the early Infocom games, they were fantastic. And it's the difference between listening to a recording and reading a book. You know, the text-based games, there's no visuals, so you're playing the game, but all the visuals are in your head.
Yeah.
You're creating the environments. You're creating the characters. And that's maybe too much for people today to do. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we did grow up in computer labs playing Oregon Trail, so getting dysentery all the time.
Well, hey, this has absolutely been wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Whyte. We actually got one more question for you before we go. And this is the question we ask everybody. I know it's a pretty, putting you on the spot once again, but we had such a nice time with you. And with all these upcoming projects coming up, with all these Resident Evil movies and games coming out, Mr. Whyte, we'd love to have you back on NerdCage Live again. So we ask you, would you like to come back sometime?
Absolutely. We've got more to talk about.
Yes, we got to leave them wanting more, right?
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much to everyone in the chat. And if I didn't get to a question, please feel free to ping me on Insta or send it to me here.
Yeah. All the social media links are in the description of the video. We got the Instagram, the X, and the Crimson Head. Be sure to check out the Crimson Head podcast. The link is in the description as well. The YouTube channel, the website, the Podbean, all that is in the description.
Sub up to the over on Resident Evil if you want to check up on the Resurrection project, because we're looking forward to that too. So
yeah,
the guys at ROE are all gods. I love them to pieces, and what they're doing is amazing. That's...
And Mr. Whyte, real quick, and do you have as a closing here, do you have like a message you want to give our audience here? Any advice for anyone who's listening?
I would quote the great Ringo Starr and just say peace and love, everybody. We're all a shit show right now. Just embrace your fellow human being, and we're all in the same boat. We got to keep this going, folks. Come together, peace and love.
Well said.
Absolutely. Very well said, and God bless. All right, so Joe, real quick, because I gotta run the work here. So, Joe, Saturday on Twitch.tv/NerdCage.
Yes. More Dead Space Remake.
And that's gonna be the finale. And then next week we wrap up.
Yes, we're wrapping up the Chris scenario of Resident Evil Remake.
And at Twitch.tv/NerdCage Live. And then Joe, mark your calendars for Saturday, December 13. Yes. So mark your calendars. Our goal is to raise $2,500 for St. Jude. And of course, once again, get yourself a NerdCage Live t-shirt. We had the Resident Evil, and then Joe, show them the hat and
the Capcom logo.
Yeah, the link to our T-Pub is in the description of this video. Every live stream across vast and social media. Joe, go ahead.
Yes, if you want to get us on Twitter or Instagram, both handles are at @nerd_cage. Our link to our Discord is in the description. Become a member there as well. And our Facebook discussion group, that is NerdCage Nation. We love everything you guys put up there. No spoilers, no politics, and for God's sakes, keep it civil.
Absolutely, and thank you so much to Mr. Joe Whyte for taking his time off his busy schedule to hang out with us. It means everything to us. So until then, everybody, we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread this shit like the T-virus. So the USA from yours truly, the land of the orange of Syracuse, New York, over friends and friends around the world at NerdCage Live and the Crimson Head Podcast. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, go to the gym. Good night, God bless, and have the best day of your life, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
That time is approaching once again, NerdCage Nation.
That's right. Mark your calendars for Saturday, December 13th, starting at noon Eastern, for Cheesy Movies for Charity 4, Alien Babes Galore.
Let's go. This year, our goal is to raise $2,500 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital using the Tiltify app.
Not only that, during the event, we will give away a Nintendo Switch 2 to one lucky and generous donor. Details on that coming soon.
So join us right here on NerdCage Live for an all-day watch party event live right here on this channel, watching 5 films of cheesy goodness that feature an alien babe to make this a fun time.
We'll reveal one movie each week.
Exploding transition!
As you know already, we're starting with Species at noon, Splice at 2 p.m. Jay, what's on deck?
At 4 p.m. Eastern, we'll be watching Supergirl with Helen Slater, which is streaming for free on Netflix.
I mean, how can we not watch that movie? Once again, we look forward to ending this season of NerdCage Live with a bang for a great cause, raising money for one of our favorite charities, and we have no doubts that we could do it with your help, NerdCage Nation.
And be sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live, and we look forward to working with St. Jude's once again for Cheesy Movies for Charity 4, Alien Babes Galore.
Thanks so much, NerdCage Nation. We will see you Saturday, December 13th.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe.
Okay.
Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe. It's all about you.
Kaboom! Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's f***ing diabolical. Wait,